אין בעיה. לעצמי רגע, לא, אני פתאום חשבתי לי מילה אחרת, אבל בסדר, לא משנה.
Public diplomacy. He just moved.
That's the way you say it? It's like this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we normally would spell it out E-M-C-E, but it's pronounced M-C.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. That's nice. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We want to start the historic event. Please welcome the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israel, His Excellency Minister Gideon Saar, the United States Ambassador to Israel, Mr. Mike Huckabee, and the Mayor of Jerusalem, Mr. Moshe Lion. You can give them a big round of applause. We shall wait a few seconds.
Who's got a song?
I was told they were coming. In a moment, they will be here inside.
It's okay. This was another 10 minutes. That's good.
I can promise you everything's okay. It's not last-minute crisis or something like that. And let's also welcome Mrs. Huckabee together with the Ambassador, Mike Huckabee. I think everyone can be seated. Thank you very much. My name is Amichai Stein, and I'm honored to serve as the MC for today's historic event. We are gathered here in Israel's eternal capital, Jerusalem, to witness an event of the signing of the Allenby Agreement, allocating the permanent site of the Embassy of the United States of America here in Jerusalem. The agreement, named after the Allenby barracks, which stood on the site which the embassy will be moved at the end, marks a successful conclusion of a long and complex process that began almost 4 decades ago. It also represents another important chapter of the implementation of what President Trump announced back in 2017, his decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's eternal capital and to relocate the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The timing of the ceremony is particularly meaningful because it's happening only 3 days before the United States is marking 250 years to the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a remarkable milestone of Israel's closest friend and ally. Before the ceremony begins, we would like to screen the address delivered by President Trump back then in 2017, announcing that he is recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. So today, the last chapter of this declaration is beginning. I am pleased to invite today's host, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel, His Excellency, Mr. Gideon Saar.
United States Ambassador and his wife, our dear friends, Mike and Janet Huckabee, thank you. Thank you for being us this day. Mayor of Jerusalem, Moshe Lion, my friend, ambassadors, Accountant General, Michal Abadi, Boyanjo from the Finance Ministry, thank you for your important decision, because otherwise it will not happen at all. Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Eden Bartal, distinguished guests, dear friends. Today here in Jerusalem, we mark another milestone in the unbreakable alliance between Israel and the United States. President Trump's historic decision in 2017 to move the embassy to Jerusalem set the record straight. And today, with the agreement to begin building a permanent embassy complex, that decision becomes even deeper and more enduring. I want to pay tribute to President Trump for his commitment to Jerusalem. My thanks also go to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who led this process together with President Trump. And thank you, Ambassador Mike Huckabee, a true friend of Israel and a true friend of Jerusalem. Mike, thank you for your friendship and unwavering support. And it's also an opportunity to thank you for your contribution to the agreement that was signed, framework agreement that was signed a week ago in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Friends, today we are signing the agreement for the allocation of the land for the construction of the permanent United States Embassy complex in Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel. The new site is located in the Allenby compound in Jerusalem and will be allocated for the embassy in accordance with the decision of the government of Israel on this matter. But this agreement is more than a transfer of land. It is a statement that recognizes history and a statement about building the future. We can talk about values, we can talk about freedom and liberty, values that we share and have fought side by side to defend. We can talk about how 250 years ago, Americans, founding fathers, drew inspiration from the biblical forefathers. But alongside our shared values, there is a great strategic asset in the bond between our countries. Israel is the most important strategic asset of the United States in the Middle East. Former U.S. Secretary of State Alexander Haig described Israel as the largest American aircraft carrier in the world that cannot be sunk. He was right, for both of our sakes. Just as the United States is indispensable to Israel, Israel is indispensable to the United States and its interests in this part of the world. And this agreement is just another clear message to our enemies. The bond between Israel and the United States is stronger than ever, stronger than any threat. A strong Israel makes America stronger, and a strong America makes Israel stronger. Friends, the decision to move the United States Embassy to Jerusalem was one of the most important diplomatic decisions in modern history. It corrected a historic injustice. And because of these decisions, other nations followed. They wouldn't do that otherwise. I began my time here as foreign minister with 5 embassies in Jerusalem. We are now up to 8. And I believe that soon, maybe very soon, we will reach 10 and even more than that. More and more nations are making clear what everyone knows. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. United and undivided. It has been the heart of the Jewish people for more than 3,000 years. King David made Jerusalem our capital. Ever since, the Jewish people have prayed toward Jerusalem. We swore never to forget it. Yet, yes, this weekend, the world, not just America, but the world will mark and celebrate 250 years of American independence. The United States of America has always been and remains a stronghold of freedom and hope for the entire world. I wish the American people happy 4th of July. But even for more than 250 years, in fact, for 2,000 years, we have said, if I forget thee, O Jerusalem. Tomorrow we mark the fast of 17th of Tammuz. We enter the period of mourning for the destruction of Jerusalem. We remember the destruction of our temple, first by the Babylonians and later by the Romans. And because we remember the destruction, we understand what it means to celebrate rebuilding. We know what it means to return home, to restore sovereignty, to fulfill the vision of the prophets of the return to Zion, to realize the dream of next year in Jerusalem. We will never be removed again from our eternal capital. Never. And so when we say this is the permanent home of the U.S. Embassy to Israel, we mean it. God bless the United States of America, and God bless the State of Israel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Saar. I have the honor to invite the Ambassador of the United States to Israel, His Excellency Mike Huckabee, to address the audience. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Minister Saar, all of you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. I thought you were leaving, so thank you for not. I knew that I'm unpopular in some places and people get up and leave when I'm invited to speak, so thank you so much for remaining. Minister Saar, what an honor to be here in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for such an incredible occasion. I cannot tell you how personally delighted I am to be able to represent the President of the United States and the people of America in being able to come today to make a permanent and forever decision that the United States not only recognizes Jerusalem as the eternal, indigenous, and forever capital of the Jewish people, but also that the United States says that we're going to do something about it, not just by recognizing it openly and verbally, but we're going to plant our flag, our American flag, on the soil of Jerusalem for a permanent and a brand new embassy compound that will serve as our mothership of diplomatic activities here in Israel. We want it to be a beacon of light for the partnership that we enjoy with the people of Israel. It is an extraordinary partnership that started on May the 14th of 1948, when 11 minutes after Israel declared its independence, President Harry S. Truman signed a letter that recognized Israel as the Jewish state. That was not a small thing, because it meant that the power and the influence of the United States said openly to the world, we stand with Israel. In my office at the temporary embassy, I have framed that letter from Harry Truman. It's not the original, let me be clear. It's a copy, but it's an important one, and it's always on my wall. It's a reminder that I serve and represent a country that has never wavered in its understanding that Israel is not only the home for the Jewish state, but it is a partner to the people of America. Today we take a new step in that frontier, and it's one that I'm very proud of. I'm also thrilled that I like to call him my mayor. Mayor Moshe Lion is here, the mayor of Jerusalem. What an honor to be able to plant this flag in the city of Jerusalem. I remember when President Trump made the announcement in 2017, in his first year, during his first term, that he was going to do something that every other president before him for 30 years had promised but never had fulfilled. And that is, we're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. We're going to recognize Jerusalem as the capital. But always at the last moment, there would be some reason that presidents would take what was in the legislation, which was a waiver that gave them a way out. President Trump did not take the way out. He took the way through. And I was so grateful. I was actually in Jerusalem when he first made that announcement. I was not here with him. I was not in the government. I was here on another reason. It just happened to coincide with his trip. My daughter was working for him at the time, and I was supposed to stay at the King David Hotel on this trip. But because he decided to come, all of us that were booked there were thrown out. And my daughter got the room that I should have had at the King David. I've never let her forget that. But I didn't mind, because I was so very proud that the president had come to make a declaration that I had longed to see for my whole life. And that is that we would finally and rightfully stand with Israel where God placed its capital. It's not just that you made that decision. I would say God made that decision 3,800 years ago. And we finally got around to acknowledging what had been determined long before the United States of America came along. I'm proud that on the weekend of our 250th birthday, this announcement is being made. And let me add, I'm also very, very grateful and proud that we're doing this announcement here in this wonderful facility of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because the option was to go out to the property itself. I don't know if you've been out very much today, but it's hot outside. There's nothing out there right now. It's a vacant lot. It's hot. There's a lot of debris around that we'll be working on getting cleaned up and made for site preparation so the construction can begin. But I'm pretty sure that you will be grateful that Minister Saar decided that maybe this location would be a better one for the occasion. So, Minister Saar, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you, sir. Thank you. More than that, thank you for your friendship and all the ways in which you and the Prime Minister and every single official within the Israeli government have helped to accommodate and bring this to be. The Prime Minister has been very instrumental in helping us get to this point. We're grateful for his support, for his enthusiasm for this project going forward. Let me take you back to 2018. The President made the announcement he was going to move the embassy, but he actually made sure that it happened on May the 14th of 2018. The significance of that was because in the English calendar, May the 14th was the day in 1948 that Israel declared its independence. There was more than symbolism, it was substance. And the substance was that the United States said, this is our embassy in Jerusalem. Now we're taking the next logical but the most important step. If anyone were to think that that decision by the President was simply a temporary one, only to last through his term, and that someone would come and change it and reverse it, let it be known that by the transfer of this property and by the construction of what will ultimately be a very expensive, massive building for a new embassy complex, this represents not just a decision, but an irreversible decision, so that once and for all we will put our flag, but it will be set in a massive amount of concrete so that nobody will ever try to move that flag from Jerusalem and take it away from the proper capital. As we sign these agreements today, we do so with an extraordinary sense of enthusiasm, especially having just gone through the past year and a half in which our military, the U.S. and the Israeli, have fought shoulder to shoulder, wingtip to wingtip against the evil menace of international terrorism that for 47 years has been a threat both to the State of Israel and to the people of America. I thank President Trump for recognizing that the threat the Iranians pose was not a threat just to the people of the Middle East and specifically to the people of Israel, but that it has always represented a threat to every single American, and that many Americans have died at the hands of the Iranians and their proxies through these 47 years, and many more would if they had their way. And that's why being able to represent the United States here in this land, truly a holy land, is an extraordinary privilege and honor for me, the likes of which I cannot begin to describe. Before I was able to come here, and my wife and I were here on the day in May when the official dedication of what we call the embassy here, but it's now officially a temporary headquarters for us. Not long after he made his announcement he would move it, I was at the White House. To be honest, I was there to see my daughter, not to see the President. But don't tell him that, because he thought I was there to see him. And he called me to come into the Oval Office, and I did. And it was just the two of us. We had a few minutes to visit. I'll never forget the conversation, because I said to him, Mr. President, I'm so grateful to you that you have made this announcement that you're going to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem where it belongs. And, sir, I'm grateful because so many presidents before you, they made the same promise, but they didn't keep it. You, sir, have committed to keep it. And I'm just curious, why did you do it? because I know that every single world leader urged you not to do it. You got calls from the Middle East, you got calls from Europe, you got calls from Asia. And even members of Congress who had voted to move the embassy privately and quietly said to you, maybe that's not a good idea to actually do it. The president had people in his own cabinet, secretaries, who urged him not to do it. Why, Mr. President, if you do this, the world will blow up. It will create great chaos. You should not do this. And I said to him, in light of all of this opposition and pressure, sir, why did you do it? I will never forget his answer. It is one of the reasons that I have such an affection and appreciation for President Trump. Because he looked at me very simply and said, well, I said I was going to do it, and it's the right thing to do. I thought that's what leadership looks like. That's what it's supposed to be. I said I was going to do it, and it's the right thing to do. And I will say to the world, Mr. President, you've kept your promise. You have fulfilled what you said you would do. And now, Mr. Mayor, we're going to add to those cranes that are all about Jerusalem. Someone told me that the national bird of Israel is the crane, because there's so much construction going on both here and in Tel Aviv and throughout the country, because it's a destination people want to move to. I hope that we will be a good neighbor, a trusted neighbor, and most importantly, that we will be able to center an activity of serving the 700,000 Americans who live in Israel. And to say, for those of you that don't realize it, 700,000 Americans represent an entire congressional district in the U.S. That's how many people live in a congressional district. When members of Congress come, I always say, welcome to Israel, the 436th congressional district of the U.S. And it is also the place where more people from outside the from the United States live outside the United States anywhere in the world except Mexico. I want you to think about that for a moment, because you would imagine that Mexico would certainly be first with 4 major states right on its border. Makes sense. But probably if I ask you to guess what's the second country, you would guess Canada, maybe the UK or France or Italy or one of our larger, more populated ally states. But no, the answer is Israel. It's the second largest home to Americans anywhere else in the world other than Mexico. And we're proud of that. That's why we have one of the largest embassies in the world, because we have that many Americans. We will be able to better serve them, but most of all, we will also be able to send a message to the world that America is here to stay. We are proud to have the partnership that we do with the people of Israel. And this partnership is as eternal as is the Jewish home. Mr. Minister, I want to say that I know that it is in the agreement that we make that there is a contract, and that the lease for the property is to be for a period of 99 years. And for that period of 99 years that is renewable, we are to pay the sum of $1. Sir, I wanted to present to you my personal contribution to the people of Israel, and I will present to you the dollar so that I want you to know we are making good on our commitment to you, sir. I will present to you the dollar when we sign the agreements. Thank you.
Give him the dollar. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you very much, Ambassador Huckabee. Later we will transfer the dollar officially to the State of Israel. Our final speaker is the mayor of Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, a city who is sacred for billions around the world, and now is going to become the permanent residence of the U.S. Embassy to Israel. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, my friend Gideon Saar, United States Ambassador to Israel, His Excellency Mike Huckabee, my friend, and his wife, Jeanette, Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Eden Bartal, the Accountant General Michal Abadi Boyanjo, representatives to the Israel Land Authority, ambassadors, distinguished guests, friends. Before King Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem, the Jewish people had the Mishkan, a temporary dwelling for the Shekhinah, the Holy Spirit. According to the Book of Kings, Melachim Aleph, it was 480 years from when the Jewish people left Egypt till King Solomon finally built the temple. Now, I'm not comparing the temple to the American embassy, but if we have learned one thing from history, when it comes to building in Jerusalem, it's never too late. But really, I want to say, as Mayor of Jerusalem, what it means to the people of Jerusalem to have the American embassy firmly on the map in our eternal capital, Jerusalem. Ambassador, this is a medal of pride. This is a badge of honor for the people of Jerusalem. Since the days of King David, we, the Jewish people, have always known that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. When Grobsel talked of Jesus coming to Jerusalem, he was coming to the capital of Israel. Yet, as we have heard, there are still so many people who refuse to accept our history in the land, in the city. They deny our rights and they deny simple facts. The history decision of President Donald Trump set the record straight, and today we begin the process of turning the decision on paper into stone. Along this, the U.S., of course, we have other dear friends who have already established their embassies in Jerusalem or have begun to do so. To all of you, I say thank you. This is right decision and a wise decision, because when everyone else also understands the truth, the price of embassies will be much bigger. So today, I say thank you to all of you. Thank you to President Trump for standing with Jerusalem. Thank you to his ambassador, our dear friend, Mike Huckabee, a true defender of Jerusalem. Thank you. Thank you to Minister Saar for leading this important process and hosting us all here today. Jerusalem is in the heart of all of us, and soon our greatest friend, the USA, will be permanently in the heart of Jerusalem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mayor Moshe Lion. And now the moment we have been waiting for. We have now reached the most monumental moment of this ceremony. I invite Foreign Minister Gideon Saar and Ambassador Mike Huckabee to the stage to sign the agreement. And I'll be happy also if they can be joined by the Mayor himself. Moshe. No? No. סליחה. אמרתי. סליחה. סליחה. Will the Mayor of Jerusalem, Mr. Moshe Lion, please join the stage and join Minister Saar and Ambassador Huckabee for an official group photograph. Let's give a big round of applause for this really historic event. We've been waiting for the moment for decades. Okay. We would like to take the opportunity to wish our American friends a very happy 250th Independence Day. Ambassador Huckabee, it's just the beginning for the U.S. You're still young. Thank you very much for joining us for this wonderful afternoon. Have a pleasant and quiet day.